Good luck.
Senator Marshall.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman, and welcome to our guests. When I think about life at this level, typically motivations are sex, money, or power. And as we look at this merger, I'm trying to figure out why. You know, where's the money, where's the power? So I'll start with you, Mr. Price. Who is losing out on money and who's losing out on power in this deal?
Thank you, Senator. And so if, we had two options. One was being in a situation of where we faced the threat of professional golf being taken over by LIV Golf, which is 100% funded by the Public Investment Fund.
That, right?
The second option is for the PGA Tour to continue to lead professional golf, operated in accordance with our...
So specifically who? Who is going to be making less money and who's going to have less power because of this merger? Someone is losing out. I would assume that's why we're here today.
Senator, I would describe it as a situation of where the PGA Tour stays in the same position that it's in. Our players and our charities win. I don't know that anyone is losing. I think it benefits all of our
There's no individuals that'll be losing because of this financially.
No, sir, because we're healing a fracture in professional golf.
Okay. Mr. Dunne, same question for you, I guess, is who's losing out? Who's the loser in this? Who's losing money? Who's losing power?
It's a very good question, Senator. The Tour Golf is the winner because we continue to uphold the standards and traditions of the meritocracy. Professional golf is hard. You have to really work hard. It's fragile. You have windows.
So in your opinion, there's no private investors. I don't understand the complexity of your nonprofit organization, but there's no individuals that'll be losing money because of this. You don't think no individuals losing any power?
The lawyers will lose money, absolutely. I mean, because that's $100 million a year. I mean, between everybody.
Okay, who has the most to gain from a power and a financial? I'll just stick with you, Mr. Dunne. Who's gaining from this financially and with power?
I'm sorry, you're asking me?
Yes.
I think the PGA Tour definitely stays intact and becomes more powerful. And I hope that in a more constructive way, Yasser gets a more productive role in the game of golf, because I think the PGA Tour product is vastly superior. That's my opinion.
Thank you. Mr. Price, who do you think gains the most from this financially and control?
Thank you, Senator. I firmly believe it's the PGA Tour's constituents, our players, our fans, our sponsors, and charity all clearly win under the framework agreement if we can reach a definitive agreement.
Okay. I'm sure this question has been asked earlier. I've been in another committee, but as I review this, the document provided us, a lot of this was done in the dark of the night, so to speak, and I think some of you, even your own members, were surprised when they saw this deal put together. So, Mr. Dunne, what was your reaction? Were you on the inside of when all this was happening? I don't recall.
Yes, Senator. I had originally reached out.
Okay, so you were from the beginning. How did some of your friends and long-term members react to this, to you personally?
Well, twofold. They were stunned, and the rollout was very misleading and inaccurate, which is everyone's fault. There is no merger. There is no deal. There is simply an agreement to try to get to an agreement and settle the lawsuits. So you had an initial surge of anxiety due to the ineffective, inaccurate rollout, and now it's settling into there's nothing there yet, and we're having the reality of having to try to figure out something which is done in unbelievable transparency. You know, there's an issue about sometimes too many cooks in the kitchen. Well, in this case, everyone in the world is in the kitchen. So it's going to be difficult, but we're going to work hard at it.
Thank you for that answer. You know, today we're here on the subcommittee on investigation of the United States Senate Committee on Homeland Security and trying to figure out why this issue was raised to this level. I got to tell you, no one back home has asked me, hey, what's the Senate think about this merger? At the same time, every day somebody asks me, why were we funding viral gain-of-function research in Wuhan, China? They ask me, why is the CDC now pushing a medication that's not safe to be used to help biological men make a milk-like substance? The CDC in direct contradiction to the FDA. And they asked me about their president's son, and they're concerned that he's running a criminal enterprise out of the White House. And now more questions than answers on the cocaine found in the White House. Those are the questions that people ask me about. Why aren't we investigating them? I don't see if any of this is prudent to the daily lives of American working families who are paying twice as much for groceries and gasoline than they were 2 years ago. Many of you said that the LIV organization is the Saudis' way of sports washing, and I want to dig a little bit deeper into that. What was China doing when they hosted the Olympics but a few years ago, but sports washing? Trying to wash their enslavement of hundreds of thousands, perhaps millions of Muslims. Trying to sports wash their purchase of thousands of United States farmland acres. To sports wash their research into bioterrorism weapons. Why aren't we investigating those issues? Why aren't we investigating that 90% of the counterfeits that come into this country are made in China? 90% of the fentanyl that comes into this country is made in China. They steal $500 billion of intellectual property from us every year. Those are the things that we should be investigating. Those are the things that Kansans want to know. I look forward to the day when we have honest discussions in this committee and our investigation powers to investigate our own out-of-control federal bureaucracy that actually impacts the American people. I have no further questions, Mr. Chairman, but I do want to wish the very best of success to Topeka, Kansas' own PGA great Gary Woodland. We're very proud of him. Thank you so much.